So today I wanted to talk about the 5 things to keep in mind when you are cross-training in the Air Force, specifically into an operations job. So if you're cross-training from maintenance, security forces, support, any sort of support function, and you are cross-training into an operational job. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that the operations world is way different than the other side of the Air Force. The first thing that I realized after coming from supply to the C-17 Loadmaster world was not everyone shows up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, my first few days I showed up and the lights were still off, and you know, obviously, like, this is all circumstantial to where you are stationed at, so keep that in mind. Like in Charleston specifically, traffic is horrible, so like our office hours vary. But showing up super early, although, you know, highly recommended if you want to be, you know, someone who is, you know, if you're not 50 minutes early, you're late kind of person. There's nothing wrong with that, but just realize, like, if you're used to showing up at like 6:45 in the morning and, you know, like your job starts at 7 o'clock and you stay there till 3 or 4, it's a little different. So that is definitely an adjustment you'll have to make. Not a hard one, but you know, that's something to keep in mind as you know. With that being said, your office hours can differ. It's, for the most part, it's not like you have to go and let someone know you have an appointment. Like you can go up to your scheduler and be like, hey, I have an appointment on Wednesday and one on Friday, and it's at this hour and this hour. And that way, like, when you go to those appointments, if someone's like, hey, where are you at? You'd be like, oh, I'm at an appointment. And for the most part, they're like, cool. It's not like in other jobs where you're like, hey, I need to do this appointment, and they'll be like, well,
can you schedule it for like a Friday for, you know, like
that sort of thing. You just kind of go and you do your appointments as need be, because the number one most important thing for you to be able to do is to be healthy and to be current, so that you can go and do the job that the Air Force is paying you to do. So, you know, office hours may differ. You're probably not going to be there from 7 to 4. You might be there from like 9 to like 1, and then go to the gym, work out, or, you know, go to your sims or whatever, which thing it is you're going to be doing per your squadron or whatnot. Number 2 on the list of things to keep in mind is realize that you are the new guy and or girl. Sometimes I think that is hard if you're cross-training as like a high-time senior airman or a staff sergeant, and sometimes even technical sergeants, is getting to a new squadron and realizing that some of your instructors are going to be senior airmen and some of your evaluators are going to be staff sergeants. Just realize you're the new guy and run with that. Try and get better at your job quicker, because, you know, people, like, there's going to be a new group of new people who come right after you, and they're going to be looking at you, the staff or tech, and being like, hey, blah, 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 so-and-so, how do I do this? And then you're like, oh, I should know that because I am a staff and or tech, high-time senior airman, whatever, which it is. But just realize you're the new guy. Be humble about that, and respectful to the senior airmen and the staff sergeants who have been doing this for 4, 5, 6 years. Realize that, you know, they've been doing this a lot longer, and just because you're a tech sergeant out of LIQ does not mean that you know everything. Number 3, rank does not exist on the jet. That being said, I believe it's still important to be respectful of others' ranks, regardless of if they are an A1C or if they are a full bird colonel. The fact of the matter is the pilots only hit the ground a fraction of a second before you do. So, you know, taking into account like people's experience, I don't care if there's a captain who's been doing this for 8 years or whatever it is. Like, you might be the one guy who's had this sort of specific in-flight emergency experience, or you might be the guy who's been to this specific airfield or dealt with this specific organization. You might be the subject matter expert, and you might have only done it once, and no one else on your jet might have done it before. but realize that like it is going to be a mind shift going from standing at the position of attention when a lieutenant walks in the door, and now there's literally fresh lieutenants going and being the snack officers and making the popcorn in the squadron and taking out the trash. Like, trust me, I was taking out the trash in supply as a staff sergeant, but like as the new guy, I knew to go around the offices and pick up the trash and take it outside every this day, blah blah blah. But like now, as a tech, I'm like, I make my new guys, my new airmen go do it, but most of the time they'll be like, hey, go find a lieutenant to go do this, and you're just like, this is not what I am used to. I'm going to turn this way now because it seems like the wind is going this way, and I don't want my mic to be like, so. Number 4 kind of goes along with number 2. Realize just because you are the new guy, anyone who walks up to your airplane does not know that. You might be a new you might be a staff sergeant who's new to being a loadmaster, or whatever it is, whatever flying operation, and some Army captain is going to walk up and they're going to be like, hey, yada 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 yada, not realizing that the senior airman that you're flying with is actually the guy who knows what's going on. He's the instructor who's been flying for forever. So with being a cross trainee, you need to be in the books more than the new guys, like like your pipeline kids. You need to be in the books all the time, learning, because the fact of the matter is 98% of the military looks at rank and goes, well, they're the higher ranking, so they know more. Obviously, the operations world, at least the flying operations world, is very different because it is a hodgepodge of pipeline kids and cross trainees versus like, most other career fields, except for maybe like special warfare. You'll probably get a lot of like cross trainees, but not a lot of people, come in and go, I want to cross train to supply or maintenance or whatever it is. They want to go and do the cool things. So, as a new person, like a cross trainee, as a staff or tech, like you got to be in those books. You got to be doing like the work. That way, when people come up to your jet, like you don't look dumb. Number 5 is, I would say, like the most important thing to learn as a cross trainee is lose your ego. Toughest part about like being in another career field for 1, 2, 3, 10 years, however long it is before you are able to move over, is you might be like the subject matter expert in your job, your squadron, your flight, whatever it is, and then you're coming to a whole new job, career field, just new everything, new lifestyle. It is very important that you don't come over and be, for lack of a better term, a dickhead. Realize, like I've said in the other 5 points or 4 points or whatever, that you're still the new guy. Lose the ego. Learn from, these young 21-year-old senior airmen. Gain as much knowledge from them as you can so that they can in turn learn all the NCO knowledge that they need to learn from you. And the next group of airmen that comes in after you will be able to look at you and go to you and expect that you're able to give them the answers that they're looking for. So, well, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you for checking it out. If you guys have any more questions, please comment them below. I love to reply as quick as possible. This channel is also kind of my personal channel, so like, if you want to subscribe, cool. If not, I get it. Like, I just kind of post like whatever I want on here, but I do realize that I'm one of the few like Loadmasters out there who his cross training is trying to get people experience or knowledge. So I finally have been doing this job long enough to feel comfortable passing on some of my knowledge. So thanks for checking it out. Please subscribe if you would like to as well, and comment, and I will get back to you as quick as possible.